in a cop car.
Yep. She goes out, she meets up with some friends. Apparently, according to investigators, Aiden Fucci is there.
Tristyn Bailey's body that was actually located by a person in the neighborhood.
The knife used to, sadly and brutally murder Tristyn Bailey.
Since then, we actually have arrested a suspect by the name of Aiden Fucci.
I don't hate you, Terrence. I don't want you things to take my soul.
Aiden Fucci back in court today looking a lot different. Not going to help him at trial. Growing up behind bars right now. Another teen accused of murder. This one, the victim, Tristyn Bailey, classmate, neighbor, 13 years old. 13 years old, cheerleader, smiling all the time. Had her whole life to live taken away from her. And how it was done. Take a look at the medical examiner's report. Multiple sharp force injuries, at least 114 sharp force injuries are over the body. 35 wounds are over the head and neck. 30 wounds are over the torso, and 49 wounds are over the upper extremities. This was brutal. And the defendant, Aiden Fucci, teenager. Let's bring back in our guests, still with us, forensic psychiatrist Dr. Carol Lieberman and psychotherapist Dr. Robbie Ludwig. And joining me now in Jacksonville, Florida, former criminal defense attorney and litigation attorney Lauren Prater is with us. Great to see you, Lauren. Thanks for joining us. Let me start down in your parts of Florida. How do we, as a system of criminal justice, deal with a young teenager accused of something like this? This is a brutal personal murder. The allegations are it was really a thrill kill. Just did it because he wanted to kill somebody. He wanted to murder somebody. He's presumed innocent, but if this is true, what should our system do with someone like this?
Well, first of all, Vinny, thank you for having me. And I want to say that this case has completely shaken the Jacksonville area, especially the cheerleading community, which I'm a part of. I'm a cheerleader for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Some of the women that have coached me have coached Tristyn. So just to see the devastation that this act has caused is heartbreaking, to say the least. And I think, to your question, the criminal justice system is doing what it's doing. In cases like this, Vinny, they're tried as adults. You play silly games, you get silly prizes here. This is something that was clearly premeditated. He lured Tristyn to this site. He stabbed her 114 times. He disposed of the weapon. He had his mom cleaning his pants to get the blood off. The justice system is doing what it's supposed to do at this time. They're treating him like an adult because he acted as an adult, and it's very difficult for me to believe that any person of right mind would think that these actions would be okay. And I truly think that the justice system is going to do its role in this case.
Dr. Robbie Ludwig, this one, absolutely brutal. Let me put up on the screen here. This is from the incident report. A friend advised Aiden talked about killing people frequently and even made previous statements about wanting to kill her. Not Tristyn, but this other young girl. She had a conversation with Aiden within the last month during which Aiden advised he was going to murder someone. Aiden stated the murder was going to be planned. He would find a random person walking at night, drag them into the woods, and stab them. So I don't want to blame, 13-year-olds for not, understanding that this was a real threat, right? There's only one person responsible, the one responsible for the killing. But your thoughts about the fact that he's talking about this allegedly to others?
Yeah, so I think what we're seeing is a trend where young kids can be violent and can be killers and can plan out the death of innocent people. And to educate everyone that if somebody has a plan, just say something to someone, because it can make the difference between saving a life and someone ending up dead. It's disturbing. Clearly, this kid had some sadistic wish that he was playing out. I don't know if there was any psychosis there or if he was abusing drugs. I don't know what the backstory is. I find it very disturbing that his mother would assist him by cleaning his clothes and covering up a crime that is this disturbing. So she is kind of helping him, enabling him, which is upsetting, and who knows what went on behind the scenes. And I wonder if somehow he felt attracted to these ladies or felt rejected by them and was acting out a revenge kind of rage that we see played out. It's a very upsetting, disturbing trend, and I do believe this kid should be tried as an adult and be put away for life. If he is a budding sociopath, then that's where he needs to be.
Dr. Carol Lieberman, we were talking about how to spot someone and what are the one indicator would be if they say they're going to murder someone.
Yeah.
But how do we convince young kids, peers, to report this type of stuff? I mean, it's you know, you got to remember what it was like to be a 13-year-old, a 14-year-old. It's almost like you don't want to be the one tattling on someone. You don't want to be, and was he really being serious? Was he just kind of joking? You know what I mean? It's a tough spot to put other young people in, but they're the ones who are there who may actually have the information.
Yes. That certainly if someone, I mean, these days, especially if someone starts talking about it, I mean, you have to kind of try to evaluate, but I'm sure he gave off other signs too that all was not right. And yes, you know, he may have talked about how he wants to kill somebody, some strange or random person, but clearly picking this girl, you know, there must have been some sense that either she did when they were talking and they argued supposedly before this happened. So perhaps he was asking her, you know, to go out with him or to be his girlfriend or something, and she said no. And so rejection certainly would be a big part of it. But the problem is, the underlying problem is that for teenagers, they play so many violent video games that the distinction between reality and fantasy is so blurred. And so when people talk about, oh, I think I want to kill somebody, you know, I mean, they're killing, many of them are killing people all the time when they come home from school and they play violent video games. I was the head of the National Coalition on TV Violence, and I testified before Congress several times about the impact of violent media on people. So I know what I'm talking about. It really does cause an increase in aggressiveness at the very least.
Our guests are staying with us. We're going to talk more about this. We're going to talk about mom, as Dr. Robbie mentioned, but also coming up next hour.
In Broward County, Florida, the jury spared the life of the Parkland school shooter, deciding not to give him the death penalty. And today was his final sentencing. And as it's been throughout the case, high emotion and high drama inside the courtroom.
My hope is for you is that you are miserable for the rest of your pathetic life.
And you sat there with the same freaking expression you have now. None. Cold, no emotion, no remorse. What type of animal are you?
30 years ago, a person dressed as a clown, holding flowers and balloons, rang the doorbell at Marlene Warren's home. But when Marlene answered, the clown shot her to death.
Advanced DNA testing led authorities to Sheila Keene Warren. The defendant ended up marrying the victim's husband.
It's like a Lifetime movie plot.
This is going to be a riveting case.
The Killer Clown Murder Trial. Live coverage coming soon on Court TV.
What a difference for Aiden Fucci. On the left, his first appearance after being accused of murdering his classmate. And on the video is his most recent appearance in court, filling out, getting older, and just a personal opinion, looks a little more menacing, a little more dangerous in his latest appearance inside the courtroom. Let's bring back in our guests still with us, Dr. Carol Lieberman, Dr. Robbie Ludwig, and Lauren Prater. Lauren, let me ask you, that difference in appearance, I don't think that's going to help him. The older he gets, the bigger he gets, the longer he's locked up waiting for his trial, not helping his appearance.
I agree with you, Vinny. And if I were his defense attorney, I would be doing everything that I could possibly do to encourage him to have as clean of an appearance as possible whenever he appears in front of the judge and inherently in front of the media, because this is such a high-profile case. So I think the concept of having him cut his hair, I can't help but think that that was influenced by his attorney, maybe his parents, but
or maybe
overall,
his cellmate.
Maybe his cellmate, because you know there are some jailhouse lawyers. But overall, I think the goal is to make sure that your client is always as polished as possible. But when you're dealing with facts like this, it doesn't matter how polished you are. You look like a killer. If it walks like a duck, it quacks like a duck. It is what it is. But obviously innocent until proven guilty. But if I were his defense attorney, I'd be working to make him look as wholesome as I possibly could under the circumstances.
Yeah, what do you think life's been like for him, Dr. Robbie, behind bars, waiting for his trial? I mean, not easy living.
No, I mean, prison is very dangerous, and you're surrounded by other people who are equally as slick and deceitful as you are. And I think it's true that this kid's look is not working to his advantage, because he's looking like what he is, dangerous and unemotional. And of course, the red jumpsuit doesn't help. So no, life is not easy, but does he deserve an easy life? Again, innocent until proven guilty, but the evidence seems overwhelming. And I don't think anybody is going to be upset if he's put away for life.
Dr. Carol Lieberman, his mother, we've got a mugshot of her, Crystal Smith. She's accused of tampering with evidence by cleaning his jeans, the blood off of his jeans, and there's some surveillance video of all that we can just roll out. But your thoughts about being the parent of someone accused of something as horrific as this. What is that like for mom?
Well, you know, of course, a mother would, on the one hand, have feelings of wanting to protect their child, you know, even if they did something bad. But this was, I mean, it's interesting looking at their house. It's so disorganized. It's so, I don't know, did he have, were there it looks like there were lots of other kids living in there. Perhaps he was, I mean, he was filled with rage. The 114 stab wounds show that this is a kid who is filled with rage. And clearly some of that rage had to come from his childhood and perhaps towards his mother. But she was trying to, somehow trying to protect him or trying to not have him be arrested, convicted of this crime. But, you know, really, if she was undoubtedly that way as he was growing up, as far as overlooking things, until it finally got to be something that was as horrendous as murder.
Absolutely. Dr. Carol Lieberman, Dr. Robbie Ludwig, and Lauren Prater, great to have you on the show tonight.